Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel where I'm going to be sharing with you easy meal ideas as well as my love for all things Trader Joe's and Aldi's. So stick around and we'll get into some meal ideas that I am sharing with you for this week. The first recipe for this week is this delicious melty Philly cheesesteak sandwich. You will need some hoagie rolls, sliced provolone cheese, a green pepper, a yellow onion, and steaks. I'm using 2 T-bone steaks since I'm just feeding my husband and I. Let's start by cutting up our green pepper and onion to saute, and these are going to top our Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. So you can cut your green pepper in half and clean out the seeds in the middle. Then you're going to julienne it, which is cutting it in thin strips like this. And I'm using 1 green pepper, but you can use more depending on how much you like. Then slice up your onion. I'm using half. You can clean up the outside, chop it in half, and then slice in thin pieces like this. Next, we're going to cut up our steak. So the key to a Philly cheesesteak is slicing it really thin like this, and you can actually cut your steak when it's a little bit frozen to make it easier to slice thinly. I'm cutting up 2 T-bone steaks because that's what we had on hand, but you can really use any type of steak for this. I would recommend about 1 steak per person that you're serving. Now we're going to cook everything up. So you'll need 2 skillets on your stovetop over medium to high heat. Throw a little oil in the first skillet and begin sauteing your green peppers and onions until the onions are translucent. And then in your second skillet, you can add oil or butter, lay those pieces of steak in, and start cooking those up. The steak will cook really quickly because it's so thinly sliced, so keep an eye on it. This is what your onions and peppers will look like when they're done, and this is what your steak will look like. Add the steak back to the pan, and you're going to melt your provolone cheese on low heat. You can add a lid to help the cheese melt quicker. Then we'll toast our hoagie buns, spread some butter on those, and pop them on the other pan over low heat to get it toasted. And now the cheese is perfectly melted and we're ready to assemble our Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. So grab your toasted bun and lay a generous amount of cheesy steak on there. Then you can add however many sauteed green peppers and onions that you like. And there you have it. Enjoy! These are really good dipped in an au jus sauce if you like. I served these with fries made in our air fryer, but it would also be good with a salad or any other vegetable. Next, we're going to be making TikTok's viral baked feta pasta with tomatoes. If you haven't tried this yet, it was surprisingly good, so I highly recommend it. It was creamy and delicious, and even my husband loved it. Plus, it was super easy and a quick meal. For this recipe, you will need some olive or avocado oil, any type of pasta, some white cooking wine, cherry tomatoes, and some feta cheese. I actually used goat cheese instead of feta. It's a little bit moister and creamier, I think. To start, you can preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, then we'll get our baking dish ready. I added 1 pint of cherry tomatoes, and this will feed about 2 people, so if you have a family of 4, I would recommend adding 2 pints of cherry tomatoes. Then you can add a generous drizzle of olive oil over those, and then put your feta or goat cheese in the middle. I got this log of goat cheese from Aldi for $3.99. If you're doubling the recipe, you could definitely add a second log of goat cheese. And then I added a 1/4 cup of white cooking wine over that, and this is optional, but it really adds a vibrant flavor. Then you can salt and pepper everything, and then you're going to pop it in the oven for about 30 minutes. While that is cooking, you can go ahead and boil your pasta. I used farfalle or bow tie pasta, but I also think rotini or penne would work well with this recipe. After 30 minutes, pull out your tomatoes and cheese, and they should look like this. Then grab a fork and you are going to start squishing those tomatoes and working them into the cheese, combining that all together until it's nice and creamy like a pasta sauce. Now you can grab your pasta and add a generous helping of this delicious sauce on top. I added Parmesan to the top of mine, but feel free to be creative with this. You could also add basil or vegetables to really round out this dish. I will definitely be making this again. The next recipe is a loaded taco salad. This meal has been on repeat in my house recently. You will need ground beef, taco seasoning, lettuce, shredded cheese, Doritos or corn chips, salsa, and whatever other toppings you like on your tacos. Start by browning your ground beef. Then once it's cooked, you can add in your taco seasoning. You can make your own like I do, or you can buy a packet from the store. I'll post the combination of spices I use if you want to pause the video and write it down. Now we're ready to assemble our loaded taco salads. So fill your bowls up with some lettuce. I use butter lettuce. I find this works well in the taco salad. Then you're gonna crunch whatever chips you're using on top, kind of like a walking taco. The Doritos are really good in here, but you can also use corn or tortilla chips. Next, add on your taco meat and some salsa. I really like this fresh salsa in the refrigerated section from Aldi. I just find it tastes a lot fresher than the canned salsa. And then some cheese on top of that. And I like avocado on mine, so I'm going to add some avocado, but you can really get creative with this. Sour cream would be good, cilantro, whatever sort of toppings you like on your tacos. And now you're ready to eat. I like to top mine with a little ranch dressing, but I think a chipotle dressing would be really good too. I saved my favorite recipe this week for last, and that is honey lime pork in the crock-pot. This was so flavorful and good. You will need a pork roast, honey, soy sauce, minced ginger, minced garlic, lime, red pepper flakes, and rice and cilantro to serve. First, add your pork roast to your crock-pot. I got this boneless pork sirloin roast from Aldi for about $5. Then you're going to top it with your 2 tablespoons of ginger, which I just used a ginger paste from Aldi as well, zest from 1 to 2 limes, half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and a tablespoon of minced garlic. Then you're going to kind of spread this around so it really covers your pork roast. Now we're going to mix our sauce that will go on top of the pork roast. Add a cup of soy sauce to a bowl and 3/4 cup of honey. Then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. I used a toasted sesame oil that was really good, but if you don't have a sesame oil, you can use olive or avocado oil as well. Then you are going to whisk this together until the honey dissolves. Keep whisking for a couple minutes and it should look about this consistency. Now you can pour your sauce over your pork roast, pop the lid on your crock pot, and you are going to cook this on low heat for about 6 hours. As your pork roast cooks, you can check on it every couple hours if you're home and spoon some of that sauce over the top to really mix in those flavors. Once it's fully cooked, it should be quite tender and you can shred it with a fork right in the crock pot. We enjoyed this honey lime pork served over white rice. I love this microwavable rice from Trader Joe's, super convenient and really delicious. And I added this in a bowl with some roasted broccoli. And you can garnish with cilantro, a squeeze of fresh lime, green onion, and toasted sesame seeds if you like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these recipes. Comment below and let me know which one you think looked the best. And of course, if you try any of these recipes at home, I would love to know how you liked them and how they turned out. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!